we're gathered to renew our commitment to the preservation of our environment, mitigation of global warming, and its attendant climate change through this annual tree planting exercise. Climate change and its effects on human life is real. So also is the vulnerability of our state. All statistics and projections about the impact of climate change on the Earth planet, particularly the gradual depletion of the rainforest, reinforce the need for all hands to be on deck. This tree planting exercise, which remains the cheapest and simplest option, is one of the strategies that have been put in place to tackle this challenge. I would like to enjoin all Lagosians to embrace tree planting as a way of life.
A tree is not just a beautiful work of nature, standing amongst the many striking and charming setting of this world. It is a powerful and vital tool for human survival. Modern science recognizes that without tree producing oxygen, life on Earth would have been impossible. Trees are strategic in combating global warming as they absorb the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and replenish the air with oxygen. Trees can check erosion and stem the tide of windstorm by serving as windbreakers. Trees also act as what is called carbon sink. This means they store the gas in their branches, trunks and leaves instead of leaving the gas to become free-floating and invariably pollute the atmosphere. This natural function alone shows that trees reduce the growth of greenhouse effect and counters global warming. Tree planting is therefore an important program designed to awaken the consciousness of every Nigerian to the unique role tree plays in making the environment conducive for human living by combating erosion menace and other ecological problems.
I believe we can plant trees around the world. I believe in Nigeria, in Lagos State. Let us plant trees around us and make a change. Let's join our hands together, make Lagos a better place. I believe
you ever asked how planting of trees help to preserve the environment? When we plant trees, we are helping ourselves as trees beautify the environment. It reduces the risk of climate change and air temperature. It also provides natural habitats for many small creatures and serves as the overall air quality enhancer. Indeed, trees and plants are great sources of natural medicines, very essential for the needs of man.
When we all live in a green world, there'll be sound health and sound minds. And let us plant trees today and make a economy big. We can rely on the green world. We can rely on the green world. Let me hear you say, when we all live in a green world, there will be sound health and sound mind. Let us plant trees today and make economy big. We can rely on the green world. We can rely on the green world. 'Cause we are blessed, so blessed. We are blessed with a rich heritage. We are blessed, so blessed with a great land. We are blessed, so blessed. We are blessed with a rich heritage. We are blessed, so blessed. We can rely on the green world. We can rely on the green world. The time has come for everyone to know or will sing about trees and solicit for their survivals. Trees breathe life. Trees break wind. They provide oxygen and shelter. Trees beautify legal state. They are great friends of men. A natural gift of nature. We have timber and many more. And many more. They are important economically.
The desire to protect Lagos and mitigate the possible impact of climate change and avail its environment of these numerous benefits, Lagos State Government on 14th July 2007 introduced the tree planting campaign exercise. To effectively drive this campaign, government enlisted the support of outstanding individuals in the public and private sectors as environmental ambassadors and face of the campaign. Since the first edition, government has been consistent at organizing this event, evolving the Green Campaign as the overall strategy to sustain the exercise. By this strategy, government also expanded the focus to include redevelopment of parks, beautification of bridge loops and other open spaces to ensure a scenic and inviting environment.
When we look at it socially, we'll see that the idea of government in terms of this greenery initiative is it's a very laudable one, because initially, before the greenery initiative, you will see that we have the people visit hospitals a lot. So socially, it's not just the aesthetic value that people should see that, oh, Lagos State Governor is after greenery, is after making the environment beautiful. But the indirect effect is on our health. I think the governor will want us to be healthier, or he wants us to be healthier in Lagos, rather than for us to visit hospitals. So in the long run, the effect of the greenery is on our health. It's not just the beautification that people see, but the multiplier effect is that Lagosians are much healthier.
We need our children to grow up and understanding that we need parks and places where they can meet as community and exchange, because you find our youth today, they hardly greet each other. They don't greet elder ones. They don't know who is their neighbor. So when you have a community park, it's a meeting point where youths and middle-aged people can communicate and meet each other and say, oh, do you live around here? Oh, I see you come here every time. It's a way of meeting one another. And so in that regard, it's good for the psyche, it's good for integrating the community.
In line with its promise to run a government of continuity with improvement, Governor Akumi Ambode's administration has sustained the green campaign strategy, especially the planting of trees. This also resonates with its environmental sustainability policy, which in the last 2 years has guided the actions of the administration on matters relating to the environment. The theme of the tree planting campaign for this year 2017 is Think Green, Plant Trees, Live Green. This celebration is unique in every respect because apart from being a proof of the commitment of the administration to this initiative, this year's edition is the 10th in series. Truly, it has been a decade of sustained commitment to the yearly exercise, which has earned the state national and global recognition.
As of today, a total of 6,834,938 trees have been planted statewide. To mark this year's Tree Planting Day, we are adding another 500,000 trees, which will be planted simultaneously in 78 locations across the state. Ladies and gentlemen, we must remember that trees are essential to human existence as they provide food, shelter, remedy for ill health, source of energy, and also help to control stormwater runoff, noise pollution, and prevent desert encroachment.
By consistently pursuing the tree planting campaign, Lagos State government is making enormous contributions to the continued survival of human race, which depends on oxygen provided by these trees. In addition, it provides conducive atmosphere for healthy living and higher productivity, ensures employment, combats drought, and ensures availability of water.
We must remember that trees are essential to human existence as they provide food, shelter, remedy for ill health, source of energy, and also help to control storm, water runoffs, noise pollution, and prevent desert encroachment. We must continue to live in good health. Planting of trees will not only be an option, but a strategy that must be embraced by all. This is because planting of trees is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to preserve Mother Nature Earth and combat the ravaging effect of climate change.
Since governor has started this initiative, a lot of unemployed youths have been absorbed because like I speak, I don't have less than 30 gardeners working with me. And if you look at it, there is a reduction, a drastic reduction in the number of area boys, in the area of, and the number of miscreants, because most of these miscreants before the Greenery Initiative, they are not really engaged, they are not occupied. But when you look around, there is a drastic fall because a lot of them have been able to take food to the tables of their families.
At the inception of tree planting campaign, the projection of the state government was to plant 1 million trees, but today this target has been surpassed as a total of 6,834,938 trees have been planted statewide. The benefits of this exercise to the state and the people have been monumental. For instance, when other states are battling with heavily destructive flooding and erosion, Lagos has been shielded a great deal from these ugly experiences. The occasional flash flooding that occurs is essentially due to the global increase in water level and the fact that the state is 0.4% below the sea level.
If we can cultivate a culture of planting trees, it will go a long way to help our economy. it will go a long way to help our well-being, our health. Because you discover in a situation where you have people living together, clustering and struggling for oxygen. You see, when you have tree planted there, they will have easy access to oxygen. So having breathed out carbon dioxide, will be able to absorb oxygen. Besides that, you discover that tree planting is very, very good for medicinal purpose. And apart from that, you discover that the furniture you are using in your house, we need trees for this for the furniture. Even apart from that, we need it for shade. There are series of reasons why it is very, very important to human life.
If you cut trees without planting another one, what it will actually be to us and the consequence that we face by doing that. Tree planting means planting trees in area where there is none, so that there will be shade and also to prevent erosion and deforestation in our areas. Tree planting will actually improve the environment and to make the environment more beautiful than it is now.
In celebrating the tree planting campaign, government also adopted specific themes for the exercise every year to ensure clarity and focus. Among the ones used include One Man, One Tree, A Tree for Life, Plant a Tree for a Better Climate, and Green is Peace. Other themes are Life is Better with Trees, Lend a Hand to Save Trees, and Trees for the Earth, while that of year 2017 is Think Green, Plant Trees, Live Green.
If you plant a tree, it will bring comfort, it will bring food. Everybody see. When you plant a tree, it will bring for shade. Who's to come and see how we plant a tree? If you plant a tree, plant a tree. If you plant a tree, it will bring comfort, it will bring comfort.
The theme Green is Peace in year 2013 was picked in recognition of the fact that the absence of enough green, especially trees, was a threat to the survival of all creatures that depends on oxygen. Trees are indeed to absorb the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to prevent human beings from suffocation. The theme Trees for the Earth has its correlation with the Earth Day celebration because the planet is currently losing over 15 billion trees each year due to massive deforestation, land development and bad forest management. This can be likened to roughly 48 football fields being lost every minute. To sharpen the tree planting campaign program, Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency LASPAC was established to drive the green initiative of the state government. The agency was carved out of the Conservation and Ecology Department of the Ministry of the Environment, Office of the Environmental Services by the enactment of Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency Law No. 13 of year 2011. In addition to embarking on massive planting of trees, the agency regularly undertakes the pruning of tree branches on major roads, highways, and around public buildings to prevent avoidable accident. LASPAC has also embarked on advocacy activities resulting in the support and understanding so far given by citizens. Truly, the collective effort of Lagosians at embarking the initiative has been a moral booster for government.
Government is doing their own part, but Lagosians on our own part, I think there is we need to know the need. We need to understand why this greenery, why it's so important to us. Most people, like when you even see people walking on grasses, when you see people destroying trees, when you see them burning bushes, you wonder that do they really know the effect of the green at all? So I think from the government, on the part of the government, there still needs to be a lot of awareness. People don't really understand why the green is so important. It's so important because of our health, because the oxygen that we breathe in, it's from the green. And when the green is being destroyed, there is nothing to take inside except the dirty things, the waste.
To further ensure the program is sustained, the state government promulgated a law which provides that for every single tree that is removed or cut down, a minimum of 5 new ones should be planted. This requires continued advocacy and engagement.
Tree planting is a mitigative in preventing flooding, providing shelter in form of canopies. Very, very important. As we human beings, as we exhale carbon dioxide, you know, the trees, they make use of it. Then we breathe in oxygen. We exhale carbon dioxide. It's of help to the plants that we are planting. During routine house-to-house inspection, we do educate people that they should plant tree because of importance to human life. Do you understand? So in course of routine house-to-house inspection, we do educate them. They should plant tree. They should stop from felling trees anyhow. You know, in Lagos State, if you fell a tree, you plant tree. And I'm happy. It's part of Clean Lagos initiative that whoever found that fell a tree will face the consequence.
Although planting of trees has long been a suggestion to better the earth, there is now the desperate need for sustained action at making it not just an annual event as pioneered by Lagos State, but a regular practice that everybody should embrace in order to tackle the decisive trend of climate change. We should also endeavor to plant trees to mark memorable events while patiently nurturing them to maturity.
I commend the efforts of the Lagos State Parks and Garden Agency in its advocacy activities that have resulted in the planting of about 5.9 million trees and the creation of over 96,000 jobs for all categories of artisans and professionals. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the earth does not belong to us, but to posterity. Let us take care of the trees in order to preserve the lungs of the earth.
It should also be emphasized that conscious efforts should be made by all to take good care of trees in our neighborhood. Doing this means that we are not only taking care of our environment, but also preserving our future.